Are you ready to become yourself? For years, dozens of people from all walks of life have turned to this one man, Leslie Tanner, desperate for the tools to reshape their life in our raised, godless world. Utilizing a unique blend of good-natured humor and brass tacks education, his innovative approach has helped innumerable people reach new levels of consciousness and personal power. Leslie Tanner, a controversial but selfless and massively influential figure, defies categorization. Since he and his life-changing program rose to fame, the expert class has desperately attacked him as a clown, snake oil salesman, or predator, attempting to silence him precisely because he is so effective at helping others become happier and more powerful in their own lives. From the most challenged, the mentally ill, handicapped, women, and mentally retarded, to the most successful athletes, entertainers, business owners, medical doctors. Regardless of your station, Leslie Tanner has committed his life to giving you the tools you need to transform your life. So, are you tired of being in near constant emotional and physical pain? If you could snap your fingers and have $1 million, would you do it? Is there a you buried deep inside whose power and will yearn to be expressed?
It's a whole life-changing program.
If they get half of what I got out of this program, they're going to have a much happier life.
It was fun. I really loved doing the program. I loved learning about myself. It was just amazing.
So if you have an interest in transforming your life once and for all, come along. I have so much to show you. In a moment, you'll have the opportunity to call the number you'll see on the screen and speak to me, Leslie Tanner, directly. Together, we'll tackle the most critical issues related to unlocking your true individual power and reaching your fullest potential. Let today be the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to Explorations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another Explorations with Leslie Tanner. It's me, Leslie, host, creator, and founder of the most effective personal power program in the country. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is yet another night. We will take a step forward to that next level. Often I am asked, Leslie, how do I get to this next level? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's make it real simple. Discomfort is the path of the next level. That and much more tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Good evening. How are we all doing? Namaste, my explorers. Best of evenings. It is a beautiful Wednesday evening, and it's me, Leslie, here with you on both Twitch and YouTube. Coming to you, Twitch and YouTube. First of all, you can notice I did get a haircut. Feeling very sharp tonight. I'm feeling very sharp. They got me smarted up over at the hairdresser. Let me adjust this real fast just to move this up a little bit. Give me a smooch on that. Namaste. There we go. Beautiful. How are we doing? How are my explorers doing this evening? Namaste to you, and wonderful to be with you once again. Oh my goodness gracious. What's up, Cats Up Rating? What's up, Cats Up? Namaste. We got the Wooku man himself. What's up, Cats Up, joining us? Blessings and namaste to a very handsome young man. What's up, Cats Up? Wow. Namaste. I'm all right, guys. You can feel the blue balls of the weekend, so to speak. You know, when you save up all of that energy, and then you got to launch. And you got to launch as soon as you can, and you go and you do exactly that. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm launching. I'm with you. I'm launching with you. Namaste. Guys, so listen, one thing that you might notice tonight is as the night progresses, we will be joined by some noobs. By some people that are yet to be sort of initiated into the most effective personal power program in the country. I'm sure you will notice some names tonight that you have not seen, and I want you to give them the warmest welcome that you can. The warmest, most namaste, most exploratory welcome that you possibly can, because it's going to be an exciting night for both them and for us. That's funny. That's the funny thing about it. Both them and us. Namaste. Namaste to you. Yes, christening, as Phil Z says. Christening, namaste. Yes, absolutely. Wow, beautiful. Let's just settle in with each other real quick. How's everybody feeling? Doofus, brother, awesome. Good to see you, Doofus. Due to Squirts is saying it's a slightly insane haircut. Very interesting. Also got a hair product. I've never, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be straight talk shooting with you right now. I have never used a hair product in my life. Not since maybe I was 10 years old, and I was I was raised Catholic, and I put hair gel in for my first communion. And not since then have I put in a hair product. And I have a hair product in my hair right now. It feels great. It feels fantastic. I'm never turning back from this. Guys, do we have any? What kind of hair products would you recommend? Would you recommend? Beautiful. Middle Path. Thank you so much. Middle Path over at YouTube, getting us started over with a communal vision. Namaste. Welcome to Namaste newcomers. Middle Path. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Namaste to Middle Path for that very warm of you. Who doesn't use hair products? Well, I didn't. Pomade. Yeah, who uses pomade? What's the deal with pomade? Does pomade work for curls? Does pomade work for curls? Can somebody enlighten me on that? Does pomade work with curls? Saliva, straight butter. I use hair thickener. Well, I've got pretty thick hair. I don't know if I need to do that. Jessica, I appreciate it, though. Jessica, music video, wonderful. You got to check it out on YouTube. We also put it on the Discord. Jessica Bear is putting out an album later on this summer. Has got a music video up on YouTube.com. Very, very fantastic stuff. Jessica Bear is that very talented. That Jessica Bear is. Namaste. Soul Glow, Afro Sheen, curl. I use a curl cream. I think that's what I'm using right now. Actually, it's got. I smell great. It's got shea butter in it also. It's got a shea butter, which feels great, which feels fantastic. I feel fantastic. I feel fresh. I feel very together. Because I'm gonna be honest, these clothes that I'm wearing, I wash each outfit. I washed once a year, and this smells like shit. Sometimes I leave during my break, and I get my little sips. I take my little pee. My temporary roommate, not me, gets a little whiff of the clothes, and she does not like it. Namaste, Yahoo Serious. Really appreciate that. Getting a big old nothing. Namaste to you. Yahoo Serious, getting us started with maybe the most poignant gift that can be given at the beginning, duration, or the end of an exploration, and that is nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, by doing explorations, I'm hurting you by doing this. It is such a greater gift, an endlessly superior gift to be given nothing. Nothing. To be forced to sit with yourself, the inside of your mind. That is truly how you get to the next level. But Well, in the meantime, though, let's do a little bit of exploring. How are we, guys? Talk to me. How are we? How are we doing? So we're hungry. We're hungry for the nothing. I love that. Cherish, good to see you. Cherish 85. Han, great to see you. So glad you could be with us tonight. Namaste to you. Nindy knew with a communal vision. Can't wait to get into this perspective. Thank you so much, Nindy. My doctor said the program wouldn't cure my flu symptoms. I licked all of the tongue depressors on the way out of that expert's office. Namaste. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And that is basically a terrorist attack. That is it. Oh, my goodness. Well, speaking of terrorism, guys, let's all aboard to the Jazz Express as gifted to us by Joseph Smith and the Mormons, the creators and originators of American jazz. Thank you, Mormons. Thank you, Joseph Smith. All aboard. Namaste, everybody. Beautiful. Peppercorn Patty, Nindy New, getting us started. Peppercorn Patty, hype train, Nindy New, my doctor. Nindy New setting that off with that nice little beautiful perspective. Nindy New, off to a good start tonight. Off to a very good start tonight. Blessings and namaste. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Jazz Express. As there are a lot of new people here, I will reiterate something very important, very basic to the experience of Jazz Express. Now, if you find yourself enjoying it, beautiful, fantastic, keep going. Who's here to stop you, you know? Sensuality is to be enjoyed at some times, but I'm also pushing back against the idea that sensuality should only be enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen. What's the basic base of that word? Sensuality, sense. Are some senses good? Yeah. But are some senses bad? You fucking bet. You fucking bet. So if we're really going to open our mind and open our heart and open our body to the extent of sensuality, shouldn't we be opening up to the displeasure, to the discomfort, to not liking jazz? Namaste. Just a little tickle. Lobster single bit, namaste to you. Herbs, guys, we've got 6 months with herbs. Can we get some namaste in the chat right now for herbs, ladies and gentlemen? Namaste or herbs, blessings to you with the mandate from herbs to get sensual, saying it, get sensual, bro, referring to me, Leslie Tanner, as a bro. And bro, I'm with you, bro. And here I am to deliver sensuality to another fella, to another bro, man to man, all right? And for me, just to let you know, it's coming in fast. Wow. Now that's a start. Now that's a good ass start. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to the most effective personal power program in the country. My name is Leslie Tanner, host, creator, and founder of the most effective personal power program in the country, Explorations with Leslie Tanner. At this program, we explore, as you might imagine, we explore the universe, both inside and out, to unlock and unleash the power within you. Yes, this is a power that you've known that you've possessed all along, a potential waiting to blossom that you know that you've known was there. Whether you had the bravery, whether you had the recklessness to say it out loud to even your most intimate friends and family. You may have just whispered it aloud to yourself, and sometimes not even that. That's how afraid we are of the truth of our power, ladies and gentlemen. That's how afraid we are of truly becoming that which we are. Namaste. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at Explorations with Leslie Tanner, I am here to give you the tools and tell you that you don't need to be afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that whispers whisper in the empty canals of your heart and mind, in which you barely cradle yet protect the reality that you are something waiting yet to blossom. Ladies and gentlemen, not only am I here to give you the tools by which to transform your life, I am here to tell you that you're not crazy. There is a power inside of you. There is something inside of you waiting to express. And you too can transform your life. Just given the proper tools, given the proper guidance, namaste, that all can be done. It is real, and you are seeing it in real time. Namaste. Mother Nipplebottom, thank you so much for the bits, by the way. Good evening, Explorer, says Mother Nipplebottom. Also, Ecto-Cooler69, addicted to porn, not a good person, just a namaste. 14 months with Ecto-Cooler. 14 months with Ecto-Cooler. Namaste to you, Ecto-Cooler. So fantastic to have you. So fantastic to have you. Now, Leslie, Explorations Leslie Tanner. Is what we are, is what we're doing. And guys, as I said before, a lot of people ask me, what is this program? And we're going to get into some of the details a little bit later on. Namaste, Mother Nipplebottom. Good to see you, by the way. Mother Nipplebottom, fantastic energy, really a leader here in the community. If you know anything, if you've seen that username, either here or somewhere else in some other stream, know that you got a leader. You got somebody who understands how effective this program can be. I've been working with Mother Nipplebottom for a very long time now. Dreadlock. Even if this wasn't an auto subscription, I would take the time to do this every month. Worth it. I think habit by now. My life is better. These 7 months have been the most recent 7 months of my entire life. That means a lot in a way. Thank you, Dreadlock. Wow, powerful stuff, Dreadlock. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I really appreciate that. Really beautiful stuff, and really very vulnerable of you. You're really getting us started on a beautiful, vulnerable step, and I appreciate that. I want you to know that I really appreciate that a lot, Dreadlock. Namaste to you. Now, as I was saying, guys, a lot of people ask me what this program is. They see that the program works, all right? And I understand. People ask me from a place of skepticism. They might ask me, what is going on, right? What is this program all about? They might ask me. And I love my skeptics. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. You keep that skeptic in your heart for as long as you possibly can, ladies and gentlemen. You keep that skeptic alive in your heart. It's one of the last lines of defense. You let go of that last line of defense, ladies and gentlemen. You are more vulnerable than the rawest, wettest, scared little infant left on the ground of a war zone. If you can imagine traffic, right? Highway, vroom, 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 semi-truck, minivan, little other cars going by super fast. It's a highway. Now imagine putting a little baby in the middle of that highway. Smash, explode, flash everywhere, but barely anywhere because it's an infant. Now, imagine you are that infant for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine in the mind's eye, you are but a wet, raw, little infant, pinkish hue in your skin, namaste, and you are placed in a highway. Ladies and gentlemen, scary stuff. Very scary stuff. Those of you who think this is funny, I want you to really take this seriously. I want you to practice empathy. I want you to imagine what it's like to be an infant, soft bones that aren't even connected to each other. And you're getting smashed under a tire of a 92 Civic with a dragged muffler on it. It's dragging a muffler going 85 down the highway. Guys all fucked up on CBD. and you smash it. And that's you right now. If you give up the idea, if the mind of the skeptic, you keep that skeptic. And the one question that I get from my skeptics, ladies and gentlemen, is what sets this apart? Why does this program work? What is the deal? What's going on? They light me up in public, and I invite it. I really do. Every single time. I don't care where I am. They grill me, and I say, all right, take me to task. Let's go. What is the program? Well, let me tell you what the program is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you right here and right now, top of the stream, what exactly is this program? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have distilled everything that you need to transform your life from the ground up, any aspect of your life. That's how universal and simple and profound this program really truly is. And I've distilled everything you need into 4 tenets. 4 tenets. I didn't say steps. I didn't say instructions. I didn't say the 4 agreements, certainly. I would never say that. The 4 tenets. Now, first and foremost, if you're a beginner, it's important to go in order. So first in debate, I don't know who's hitting all these buttons. You know what the steps are. You know what the damn steps are. Namaste. Namaste. The one cat. I got my hair cut today, if you could believe that. And I'm using a product. I'm using a product for the first time since I was 10 years old. There we go. Relax. Relax. Before we do anything, ladies and gentlemen, we must relax. And this is who? Okay. We got some jokesters. We got some. All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead and you know the steps of the program. Dreadlock, you just resubbed for the 7th month in a row. So if we could go in order. The Storm 49, you also know the order of these steps. Please don't mess around with me right now. It's very important that the top of the stream goes well. We're going to have some new people coming in, and we got to have a good vibe, and we got to keep the momentum up. And right now, what you're doing right now is not right. Psychic emergency, though. Anytime's a good time for psychic emergency. Thank you so much, Yahoo Serious.
This is the Psychic Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Yahoo Sirius 444 to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400 Clifford the big red dog is still alive and reaping havoc. The dog has consumed everyone in the gym holding out. Hundreds are dead and the town fears most are lost. Emily is fully a part of the beast. Laser attacks have barely scratched the beast and direct missiles are only making the dog itch with his back leg. The dog shit is the size of a semi-trailer. Repeat. Cheer 400 Clifford the big red dog is still alive and reaping havoc. The dog has consumed everyone in the gym holding out. Hundreds are dead and the town fears most are lost. Emily is fully a part of the beast. Laser attacks have barely scratched the beast and direct missiles are only making the dog itch with his back leg. The dog shit is the size of a semi-trailer. We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Namaste. Very namaste stuff. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Blessings. Blessings to you tonight. To Flux Storm for that, 500 bits for that, nothing. And also to Yahoo Serious. I love the emergencies, and then we got to use that. We got to use it responsibly, and that was a perfect example. The emergency system, Mother Nipplebottom. Clifford could use more of the program. You know, there is a burgeoning animal program. The thing is, I don't like dogs. I'll be honest with you. I don't give a shit about dogs. If I'm being 100% honest with you, as a man, I don't care for dogs. In fact, legally speaking, and this might shock a lot of you, legally speaking, in my immediate area, there's an ordinance in which we're allowed to kill dogs. Very seriously. We have a dog problem. We have a sort of epidemic of wild dogs who have, I don't know if it's a mutation or if they were always just this smart, but they're smart. They do prank stuff, and it's not always playful from them. So they come into town, they cause problems. We're allowed to kill them. We are, and I've killed dozens of dogs just this year alone. Namaste. All right. So anyway, relax. Relax. Cougar Pie with a communal vision. Can't wait to get into this. Thank you so much, Cougar. You look like you'd own a parrot, says Cougar Pie. Now, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Bird people are weird. Bird people are weird. They're not the same. They're not the same as everyone else. And that's and honestly, I'm tired of the pressure, the oppressive pressure to act like they're like everyone else. They're not. Period. End of story. You got a bird, you're weird. Yes, Mooncat, there we go. Mooncat, there's no need to be ashamed of it. Flux Storm Zero gifting a sub to Cherish 85 tonight. Namaste. Very generous. I love to see that. Sharing, thinking, caring, sending supplies and resources through the community like that. Beautiful stuff. Now, second tenet of the program, ladies and gentlemen, after we relax, which is uncomfortable, should not feel bad, or should not feel good, should feel bad. I'll do relax again. Ladies and gentlemen, the first, you beat me to it. You beat me, gosh dang, to it. Question. Now, guys, after you relax, you'll be filled with facts and feelings, and that's normal, all right? Be scared, but know that it is normal to be scared. And that is when we question. We use the most powerful tool at our disposal, is the question. And what do? We question to destroy here at Explorations with Leslie Tanner. We question to destroy. We do not question to refine or perfect or learn or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we question to destroy that which can be destroyed. And what do we do after we find something that we cannot destroy? At that moment in time, right, we're questioning, we're blasting through stuff, right? And then we move on to my favorite stuff of the program, and honestly, the most worthless stuff of the program. This shit is a waste of time, as it should be, to express ourselves. When you get to that point, when you built up a sense of self and a sense of a song in your heart, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen, you must act like this eagle does. Spread your wings in the sky and soar. Sing your song. Write your little dissertation about the world. And ladies and gentlemen, once you have exhausted yourself, once you have absolutely left yourself as a husk, a wet, soggy husk of the person that you thought you might have been, ladies and gentlemen, at that point and only that point, you are ready to explore. You're ready to explore. Namaste. And once you get to that level, you'll know it. You'll know it. There will be, left will be the same as right, forward the same as back, thoughts, feelings, subjective, objective, all sort of screaming into a squall, a wet, soggy squall that doesn't make any sense, and you no longer have the PO Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois 60647. Send me some mail, postcard, letter, a little package. Send me a gosh dang anything. I love it. I love getting that sort of physical contact with you all. PO Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois 60647. And one last little order of business before we get into our theme and open up the lines tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the stream tonight, look at here we go. Here we go. Nigel Pennyweather with a communal vision. Can't wait to get into this. It works if you work it, so work it every day. Thank you and namaste. Nigel Pennyweather, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that perspective. Nigel just sort of supporting, saying that it works. It works, but it only works if you put yourself into it. Now, I've heard that more times than I can count from my most committed explorers. Namaste to you. Now, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself at any point tonight, inspired by this program, inspired by the life transformations that you see on every single caller that will call tonight, if you find yourself inspired and you find that this call-in show, as effective and transformational as it is, if you find yourself called to participate more, you got to get more program materials. Maybe you're thinking, I wish there was a podcast. I wish there were videos. I wish there was a way to download all the music involved in this stream. I wish there was a way to get a monthly postcard even. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are being called to is the community of devoted light at patreon.com. My inner circle. My community of devoted light hosts a growing library of exclusive program materials that can be available to you tonight for just a couple dollars a month. If you feel yourself called to this, please, I implore you to click that link I just dropped in the chat and explore your options there. Explore your options there. Now, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's theme, as you've seen on the screen a couple times already, is discomfort is the path of the next level. Discomfort, the path of the next level. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting back to basics. Now, if you heard me once, you have heard me say it 1,000 times. If you heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. That first step, that first tenet of the program, to relax. Relax. I've heard that somewhere. I've heard it a million times, right? I've heard, maybe you've had a therapist give you some relaxation techniques. Maybe you've gone to maybe some spiritual guru, like a Buddhist leader or some kind. Nindi knew, guru, am I worthy of love? How would I know? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Pause on the theme for a moment. Nindi knew. Really clutch, really fantastic stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what Nindi knew, one of my strongest soldiers here at the program of Explorations with Leslie Tanner, Nindi knew is leading old guru into something to announce. One more announcement before we get into the theme. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, extremely exciting stuff planned for this Saturday, upcoming Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes on a Saturday we come and do a normal stream. We might do an exploration. We might do this, that, and the other. But ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday is very special. Very special indeed. We are infatuations with Leslie Tanner. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is infatuation? Some of you have participated in it. You've been in the game show. Some of you have watched the game show. Well, some of you, if you are uninitiated, Infatuations with Leslie Tanner is a very special stream that we do about once a month here. It is the internet's only competitive dating game show, not designed to help you find love, but to help you find out whether you deserve it in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a simulated competitive date between you all. People file into the Discord and go head-to-head into a 3-minute simulated date. Head-to-head and competitively, who can be the most normal? They compete against each other. Who can be the most funny, but not too funny? Who can be the most interesting, but not too interesting? Who can be the most interested? Who can listen? Who can flirt? Who can just act normal and likable for 3 goddamn minutes? Ladies and gentlemen, it's maybe one of the most exciting things we do here in our community, Infatuations with Leslie Tanner, this Saturday, the winner of which will receive a very special piece of Explorations physical merchandise in the mail. I'll work with the winner and figure out what you have, what you don't have, send you what you need, send you what you want. And the winner of the channel points, there will be a way to wager channel points on the winner. That, of course, they're going to get a special postcard, the winner of the channel points. Now, ladies and gentlemen, very exciting stuff. Who gets to compete, though? Might be a question you might ask. Who gets to compete? Literally anyone in the chat right now. Anyone at YouTube, anyone at Twitch. You can walk up or reserve a spot. The link is in the Discord if you want to reserve a spot. Otherwise, feel free to do a walk up. We'll fit you in. Anyone in chat. The winner of Saturday night might be in the chat right now. It might be you. It might be anyone above or below you in the chat right now. It could be CJ. It could be Fram. It could be Pimperknuckle. It could be Doo-Doo. It could be I Hate You All. It could be BVS420. Beavis, namaste. Namaste. It could be anyone in chat right now. So guys, this Saturday, normal time, 8 p.m. Central, we'll be doing Infatuations with Leslie Tanner. Very exciting stuff. Can't wait to do that with you all. I always love it. Dread, maybe Dread, I think you should step up. I think you should step up and compete. I think it'd be really a fun time. I think it'd be really fun. I think you'd do a fantastic job. I'd love to see you go head to head. Now. Speaking though, let's keep it going tonight. Thank you so much, Nindy New, for that reminder. Invaluable. Discomfort is the path of the next level. Yahoo Serious cheering. Blessings to this perspective. Surely a lesbian haircut will allow Leslie to challenge for the Women's Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Belt. A lesbian haircut will allow me to challenge for the Women's Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Belt. Real quick affirmation for women. There's something wrong with you. Women's intuition is very strong. What does that women's intuition say? That there's something wrong with them. Ladies and gentlemen, just trust women. It's an edict that we must at least have in our tool belt. Are we dropping frames? Nope, we're not dropping frames. Not dropping frames on my side. Are we dropping? Is everyone? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just refresh the tab. Refresh the browser if you're dropping frames or if it's lagging or anything, or that it gets out of sync. Because right now it's everything looks good over here. Yeah. I only stream at 720. Namaste. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into the theme. I need to speak to you. I need my explorers. Discomfort, the path of the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, people ask me all the time, how do I get started in the program? Where do I get started in the program? You know, I'm inspired, but it's that feeling of I want to jump in the pool, but I'm afraid of the water. Maybe the water is warm, maybe it's cold. It's just that sensation. I'm thinking about it. I don't know where to go. Asking that how is a defense. So let me give you something that you can feel in your body, some place that you can start right now, in your mind, in your body, in your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, because that is where this program starts getting serious for the 50 bits that lost. Now, as I was saying, a perfect place to start. A perfect place to start. Is your own mind, your own heart, your own body. Don't look outside of yourself. Where does your journey at explorations begin? How do you unlock that power inside of you? Ladies and gentlemen, the tools that I have to give you start with something that everyone has: a mind, a body, and a heart. Now, a lot of people think that a way to that a very important thing to do in some sort of spiritual transformation. This is, you find this answer a lot, secular or religious or spiritual or anything, and they'll try to get you to relax. And what they mean is finding a way to feel good, right? To get that nervous system down, to get that heart rate lowered, slow your breathing, deepen your breathing. They might say. Make your room smell nice. Turn off any extraneous sounds or flashing lights, they might say. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason that these things not only don't work in this chaotic, godless modern world that we live in. There's a reason that this thing does not work. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I will go as far as to say this idea of relaxation has never worked. I know I'm going to get some pushback. And I'm going to get some pushback on this. What I'm saying is very controversial. That relaxation doesn't work. I'll go even further, though. Relaxation is a form of self-harm, and not the good kind. Relaxation is a form of self-harm, ladies and gentlemen, because that colloquial version of relaxation, the generally accepted definition of relaxation, ladies and gentlemen, is suppressing that which you truly are. It's suppressing your potential. Is suppressing the power coursing through you right now, ladies and gentlemen, the power of the next level. Onion plug guru, I need to know if my piss actually does taste incredible or if I just have a horrible taste in piss. Thoughts, really good question, Onion plug. I'm going to go ahead and listen. That's the zone. That's the zone. You're never going to know an answer to that. You're never going to know an answer to that. Chicken or the egg, right? Chicken or the egg. You're never going to know an answer to that, and embrace never knowing. No answers. Only questions for you. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, relaxation in the expert's sense never works. It's not going to work because it has never worked once. Ladies and gentlemen, the path of the next level is discomfort. The path of the next level is discomfort. So what are we going to do tonight? We are going to explore discomfort. We are going to explore ways that we can heighten discomfort in our lives every single day. We will find that which we are avoiding, ways that maybe we're unconsciously even avoiding a wealth, an oil well, under the soft surface, thin, soft veneer of our mind, of our conscious mind, and we just prod just a little bit, find that soft spot, put a finger in it, and let the oil spring explode. Let the wealth of discomfort explode from our unconscious, our subconscious minds. Ladies and gentlemen, to do so is to tap into the power of a next level, a power that I can hardly begin to describe, waiting to breach the surface of your conscious mind, waiting to animate your physical body, your spiritual mind. Ladies and gentlemen, let me help you tonight on Explorations. Let us explore discomfort. 708-240-8953. 708-240-8953. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something that I can call you tonight?
It's Michaela. I just joined, and Guru, that makes me uncomfortable.
Beautiful. Well, let's start there. Cooker Pie, gifting 10 community subs.
Hair just on both sides of your head.
Right.
I'm not used to you having no hair on the sides of your head. I'm just uncomfortable with change.
Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. I love that. We're off to a great start tonight. Starting with the most ancient and plentiful source of discomfort, change. Beautiful, Michaela. I can't tell you how happy I am with with how uncomfortable my haircut makes you. Now, if you could have my haircut look a certain way, what would you do?
Like it was before.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
You're giving a little bit more like Maddie Healy 1975 rather than Guru.
Interesting. It's a little too modern for you or something.
Yeah, it kind of...
A little too trendy for you, maybe.
Yeah, a little too trendy.
Yeah, you don't like that stuff. Yeah, communal vision coming in from Cougar Pie. Leslie looks sexy, like a palomino.
What's a palomino?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Is that a type of dog?
Would love to know. Yeah, maybe. Maybe like a sexy dog. There are some sexy dogs.
Oh, I thought you hated dogs.
I do. Have you ever been attracted to something that you hate?
Yeah, all the time.
There we go. Michaela, next level is calling your name tonight. TravCam 0. Am I crazy? That's just Misha's haircut.
No.
Yeah, Misha doesn't have his
crazy.
haircut. Yeah, Misha does not have shorn sides. That's for sure.
I actually also got a haircut today.
You got you did talk to me about it.
I was gonna get like baby bangs, and that would have made my mother uncomfortable. But
why is that? Why is that? Talk to me about that.
She doesn't.
She thinks that you'd be a lesbian,
or something. Yeah, I mean
even worse, a bisexual.
Exactly. Yeah, she's already got a lot on her hands.
Namaste. So she's afraid of that, and she kind of runs the show over there, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I'm turning 26 on Sunday.
Right, and you can't cut your own hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to work with your mom. Your mom's very powerful. I can tell.
I think any discomfort that you sent her way would be sent back my way in the form of
Listen,
anger.
that's the thing. I don't have to send her any discomfort. She is so uncomfortable.
Yeah. She is. She really is.
I can tell. So she instills fear in both you and your father. We've talked about this.
Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, of course I remember this, Michaela. And that kind of fear is not coming from somebody who, generally speaking, of course there are exceptions to everything, but safe to say you can put your money on that person's pretty uncomfortable somewhere to have that kind of percolating power inside of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I did work with your mom, when that day comes, I won't give her the business. The discomfort's already there.
Mm-hmm.
The power's already there. So
it is. She's very powerful.
And as it is for you, I see the same in you, Michaela. Even though I see, this. I think there's a lot of power in this. Sometimes I work with a teenager every once in a while that's just like a devil may care, right? They're cutting their hair, they're tattooing, they're smoking cigarettes, they're doing all this crazy stuff, right? And ultimately their spirit inside of them isn't as great as they think. But what I'm interested in with you though is 26 next week and still won't cut your own bangs. That level of dissonance in your mind, that fear, that sort of that conflict, Michaela, there's a volcano waiting to erupt inside of you.
Yeah, I do feel uncomfortable most of the time.
Yes, you do. You almost started crying like a baby when the father shaves, right? Remember, those videos?
The what?
Those videos where a papa will shave his beard and the baby has no idea what to do.
Did that make you cry?
No, I mean, almost made you cry. That's what you started talking like at the beginning of our call, Michaela.
What? No. Oh, because you got a haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, it was more of an emotion of disgust.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, disgust. Don't play that game with me. Don't play that game with me. Don't use... let's set that aside, okay? You were afraid.
Yeah.
Use the word discomfort. You didn't use the word disgust. Discomfort. Change. Yeah. You're afraid of change. Now, listen. Let's start small. I want you to change something, Michaela.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Can you give me some ideas?
Bangs.
Well, not right now. I just got the haircut.
Do it yourself.
I did do that over the pandemic, I will say. I cut my own bangs.
Beautiful. Fluxstorm Zero with a perspective that I can't wait to get into. Fluxstorm Zero, caller, wah wah. And then the KEKW thing. I think it means LOL.
Isn't that just like LOL for racists?
I wish the world was that clean. I wish the world was that orderly. A lot of people use KEKW though. What kind of races are we talking about? We're talking about like a traditional one, like a cross-burning one,
like a 4chan type.
Oh, like my parents are. I'm not over my parents' divorce kind of.
Yeah, or like I had a, I don't shower, and then women don't talk to me because I don't shower, and
Interesting.
then
Shots fired. Shots fired. Interesting stuff. I see this KEKW stuff everywhere. Grizzled curmudgeon 10 months in a row. Grizzled curmudgeon, brother, explorer entrepreneur, just subbing for the 10th month in a row out of this sense of generosity, knowing that this program adds so much to his life. Namaste to Grizzled curmudgeon. Namaste. Now, listen, I don't think you're in a position to talk as much shit as you're talking because you won't even cut your own hair. If I'm being honest with you.
I've dyed it before. Dyed it before.
You listen, you're afraid of my cutting hair. You're afraid of the chain. I think you need to cut your bangs tonight.
I'm not doing that tonight. I actually like how my hair
is. Well, then what you're telling me right now is that you're saying no to the program and no to the power that's inside of you.
Maybe that makes me uncomfortable. Got him.
Not at all. Not at all did you got him.
The program makes me uncomfortable, Leslie.
Well, that's good. That's the point. What's the first tenet?
I don't freaking remember.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
Shit.
Lord in heaven.
Is that the first one?
Oh, no, you've been terminated. Namaste.
Yeah, whatever.
708-240-8953. 708-240-8953. I love that KEKW. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people using KEK, the KEK, whatever. This is not, and I'm sure many of you are racist, but to use it as if you're looking out for racists, I don't know if that's the most reliable one, or the most reliable sign. 708-240-8953. How's everyone reacting to 4chan mention? Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hello, Leslie. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Namaste to you. Poet, good to hear you. It's been a minute. How you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty miserable, fairly uncomfortable, but that's the point.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Namaste, exactly. And listen, what a perfect caller to get towards the top of the stream, Poet. As we discuss very frequently, your sort of physical ailment that's progressing at a very steady pace in your life, making your life increasingly miserable and painful. Go ahead and give us a little sum up of that in case there are some new people in chat right now.
My own immune system is eating away at the materials between all of the joints, starting in my spine until all of my vertebrae and joints are slowly fusing together over time.
Right, and this is painful.
Oh, extremely.
Extremely painful. So we've got pretty much a disabled man getting more disabled by the moment. And here, what a powerful way. Listen, fellas, if you're looking to get started with a sort of exploratory sense of relaxation, go ahead and break anything. Break your arm. I'm going to do one more for the fellas. Let's do one more. Fellas, I can't speak enough about Krill Cream. It's absolutely changed my life, and I'm happy to be here. Namaste. So, Poet, go ahead. How has your, often when people discuss disabilities, they discuss it in a way that's like, how has being disabled affected your perspective on life? What kind of insight do you have to offer the world? But I'm going to go ahead and take the other direction. Obviously, how has this affected your life? Made it worse? Period.
Oh, I don't do physical activities anymore, and I miss being outdoors and doing things.
Right, you just miss being outside with people.
No, I miss being outside and like bike riding or swimming or doing normal functional like outdoor activities, whether there's other people are there or not. Nah, I don't care. Like it's nice, but I miss being able to walk more than like a city block without having to sit down because I can't anymore.
And to think that, so many other people have it so much better than you do, Poet.
Indeed. But I also wanted to call in and just say that the program works. It's helping me find solace in this blight of a meat space existence.
Talk to me. Well, talk to me, Poet. Of course, we often discuss your physical maladies, but talk to me. You mentioned blight. Talk to me. Fill in some else. What's on your mind? What else is going on? Let's fill in some of the gaps. What's fresh there?
What's fresh there? Well, humanity in general just feels very, very awful. I see lots of complaining, and then when solutions are presented, everybody's like, no, that requires too much effort. And we're just left with the same old churning mass doing the same thing over and over. So now I'm just taking naps and patiently waiting for death.
Beautiful. So when you check in with the individual experience, not great, as we heard and understand. But then when you check in on the larger picture, when you zoom out a little bit, you're not feeling good about what being a human being looks like from that angle either.
Yeah, we're kind of shitty.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's 100% true. That's 100% true. Onion plug. Caller, have you considered leaving a finger in your anus until it prunes like you went swimming for 3 hours?
My arms don't bend that far anymore.
So have you considered it, though?
Oh, no. That doesn't sound enjoyable. Maybe a butt plug might be fine, but, I'm not really a butt plug kind of guy.
Maybe that's a whole other thing that you can't get into, right?
Right. At least on my own, maybe with a little bit of help.
Yeah. Interesting. So what broad thing has really been preoccupying you of late, Poet, that's really discouraging you and even worse than normal as far as being a human being in a big picture?
Ice.
So we're talking about the immigration, this organization that was started in the United States, maybe about just a little over a couple decades ago.
What they've turned into makes me very ashamed to be an American.
Yeah, and they also look like shit while they do it, huh?
No, they look like complete pansies. Like they played CS:GO and they're like, this is cool. It's stupid.
Scooping up
like
children, families, and doing it in an outfit that anyone could buy on Amazon.
Correct. Like, And they're too afraid to identify themselves. They're scared little children playing at being real men, but they're not. They're just racist assholes, and they're taking over this country, and it makes me sad.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, you zoom out looks bad, and then zoom back in. It's not like you can do anything to stop them.
I can teach people how to make Molotov cocktails.
Right. Well, you can't
in Minecraft.
Yeah, 100% in Minecraft. Exactly. I see what you're saying. Beautiful. Well, listen, Poet. I'm genuinely glad that you found the time to call in here. What anything coming up for Poet in the near future that you're either dreading or looking forward to?
I am looking forward to next week, because that means that work week will be over and then my vacation will begin.
Beautiful. Well, what are you doing for vacation?
Nothing. I plan on smoking a lot of marijuana, maybe, injecting some straight up PCP or heroin and just vibrating for a few hours.
Look at that. Namaste. Well, listen, I wish you the best. It sounds like a really beautiful, well, I won't say really beautiful. It sounds kind of depressing, but it sounds like at least it'll feel good for a second.
Indeed. Namaste.
Namaste. Well, namaste to you, Poet. Thanks so much for finding the time to call in. Now, listen, if you're looking for somebody using the program and really embodying the theme tonight, discomfort, look no further than somebody with a degenerative bone disorder whose bones are fusing together. Namaste. Thank you so much, Poet. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hey, Leslie. This is Ashley.
Ashley, how you doing?
Terrible. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great now. It's great to speak to you. I know you had to miss our last exploration, so it feels like it's been a long time since I've spoken to you.
Yes.
Namaste. Well, it's great to have you either way. Thanks for finding the time to join us and also call in. Why are you doing terrible tonight, though? Talk to me about that.
I have a friend who I really love, but I think she might actually be retarded.
Sure.
And
it's like
I don't know, actually, and I don't know how to handle her bad choices in life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about what she's been doing, it makes me want to wild out and just start busting up stuff in my own house.
Okay, well, this talk to you. Can you provide any details about what this behavior is that's so upsetting to you as one of her friends?
Yes, so she's poor. She's very poor.
Right.
And lives paycheck to paycheck.
Sure.
And I found out that she's renting all the furniture in her apartment.
Ooh. Yeah.
And she's paying $450 a month.
For furniture?
Yes, for 18 months now.
Damn.
So I guess people are right. I guess I can't say she's poor. I just say that she's a money retard.
Right.
And
well, that's the thing. Poor people do retarded stuff like this all the time. I've worked with so many. Most of the people I've worked with, especially court referrals, have been poor, and they, like you said, they do some of the most asinine self-sabotage I've ever seen in my life.
And I found out last year she has this flat screen television that it has the worst picture I've ever seen. It looks like the world's, like the first image we ever took with the camera, and it's not a smart TV, and it's not name brand. And I found out that she paid $250 a month on it for 5 years.
To rent
a flat screen television that the picture is like looking through one of those like I Spy toys. Like she spent $15,000 on a non-name brand flat screen TV that is not a smart TV. And when I think about that, I want to fucking vomit. I can never look at her the same way again, knowing that she's done these things. Like, I don't know if I can get over it.
Yeah. I mean, this is this is kind of beautiful in a way. Mindy knew with a Camille Vision, real quick before I say that, your friend needs to learn about thrift stores and interest.
No, because she says anything that's been used, she thinks that people have died on it.
Ooh, I love this. So
They're
we got
crazy.
We got a
Oh my
self-hating,
God. I don't know what
yeah,
to do,
we got a
Leslie.
self-hating sort of retarded poor person here.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do I do to not see her like this anymore?
Many such cases. Now, there's a certain sphere that must be respected, and it kind of truly transcends psychology, religion, the sciences, or anything. There's this sort of sphere. Let's call it sphere of retardation, just for a moment, where there is such a tightly woven fabric of intuition and poor thinking, or whatever you want to call it, that you simply cannot penetrate. And this is, I think, really close to like a kind of perfect example of that like sphere of like, you're not going to be able to penetrate it. And something so terrible, how far do you think this will go for your friend? Do you think, what kind of calamity will sort of force her to reflect on that which you see are mistakes?
I don't know. Like, sometimes I get low on money and I buy her. She has an elderly mother, and I get her groceries, and her groceries are so like pathetically meager that like, until you've had an elderly woman thanking you for getting them vanilla pudding and cheese crackers, and very, very, very grateful for something like that, and then knowing that my friend does that, I cannot see her. I don't even know if I can be her friend anymore, because how can you be friends with somebody knowing that they're willing to do this? I even offered to get her a cheaper couch. I'm like, let me get you this cheap couch so you can stop renting the couch, this expensive couch. And she's like, basically like, I'm used to this one.
Ooh, there we go. So,
like,
yeah, so
crazy.
listen,
Yeah.
this is, now, I'm going to set aside all of the, this person loves being an inconvenience. This person loves getting. There's a hole inside of her that is very powerful. And you are right to be uncomfortable. This is and speaking of discomfort for the path of the next level, you got somebody with a profound attachment disorder is what I'm calling right now. Was she abused or anything, or neglected, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
And her family, her family, her dad would rent lawn furniture, and that was their furniture in their house.
Jesus, yeah, okay, yeah. So honestly, she's probably doing a little bit better than that, at least.
I mean, it's hard to not do better than that.
Mother Nipplebottom coming in with a communal vision. Can't change her, just how you react. Any response to that?
I mean, they're right. But it's like, how do you see? I don't know. No, the TV's already paid for. She got that paid off last year. Like, I want to get them a couch. To buy the couch new, it's like $1,700, and she's like, with my tax return, we're gonna pay off some of the shit. Like, oh God.
See, there's the retardation is it's not quite as retarded, I think, as it seems. This is one of the nuances of not all of the retarded poor people that I've worked with historically. But but with a lot of them, this sort of irresponsibility or the self-sabotage, or et cetera, is actually, it's got a logic to it, because everyone keeps wanting to wipe her ass for her if she keeps doing it. However, what I implore you, Mother Nipplebottom brings up something interesting. Yeah, who's serious though? Caller's friend sounds like a near master at avoiding comfort. But that's the thing. The comfort that she's receiving is more profound than any couch could provide her. Somebody's coming over and not giving up on her, wiping her ass over and over and over again. Yep, I shoot it like cats. If there's an elderly person involved, call social work and report elderly abuse. Otherwise, you need to let her fall on her face. See, listen, okay, so guys, listen, I want to focus up on the theme tonight because I see the logic of everyone trying to help out Ashley here. But I am trying to unlock the power of the next level inside of each of you, especially Ashley right now. And what you're talking to me right now is you got somebody who's just clamping down teeth on the teat. And it is uncomfortable. And understanding the nuances of the teeth that she is dragging on your willing teat is making you very uncomfortable. It makes you want to destroy your home. What would you be doing otherwise if you didn't have this kind of force in your life, Ashley? Tell me.
I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like, she's a good friend, and I hate so many people. I'm going to be honest with you. I literally hate so many people, but I don't hate her. And that's what makes it hard.
Psyduck says, sometimes you are a little bit more retarded than you think it is. Focus on that. Are you? Are we? Namaste.
Well, you sound like an idiot piece of shit.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Psyduck, you sound like an idiot piece of shit. From Ashley. So take that into consideration. Now, listen. Does she get her shit from Rent-A-Center or something like that? One of these places?
It's a place. God, no, I wish, because Rent-A-Center, the stuff is actually like cheaper. So if you want to buy it out, it's not that much. It's a place I've never even heard of. I think that it exists to like give furniture to offices that people see. Like, I don't know where the fuck she found this place. Like, it's just so nuts. And of all the crazy things she does, like, this feels like the thing that I can't get over.
Communal vision real quick from Mother Nipplebottom. Sometimes you got to just realize a friend is a dumbass, which much better than serial killer.
Well, she'd never have the follow through to be a serial killer. You need to have some level of organization.
Maybe if they sold a hit list and a gun at a Rent-A-Center and tricked her with some interest and some low monthly payments for $17.
But have you ever heard of doing a long-term renting on furniture? Like, most of the time people rent something, and then when they can afford the furniture, they stop. Have you ever heard somebody doing it multiple years?
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Her nervous system is so fucked. She can hardly think. There's only the next day, next week. There's not a next month for her. I can tell you that. She is so fucked up. Her like amygdala or whatever is just like on fire. And it will continue to be so until I get to work with her, because she gets with a therapist, they're going to try to soothe her, they're going to try to get her relaxed, and what she needs is to be made uncomfortable. She needs the discomfort of the next level. So
I'm going to try to make her call in the next show.
Oh, please, I'd love to work with her. I'd love to work with her.
Can we do a dual call where we're both on the phone and you work it out?
I'd love that. Just like, she's somebody who barely needs a push. She's right there. She's right on the cusp. But for you, I want to focus on you right now, though. Also, I don't want to just completely get lost in this friend of yours, as retarded as she is. Your discomfort is so valuable in this moment, and I think, regardless of what you decide to do, as far as the money and the furniture and all this, I want you to just really push your mind to think of how horrible of a calamity would she be able to sort of endure and still not reflect on her choices with money? Like, how bad would it have to get? And she would still never even think about, oh, I should maybe think about money for 6 weeks from now.
Just her thinking about it. She might think about it, but it won't. Change won't result from that, I don't believe.
No.
You basically have to force her. You have to use social pressure to force her to do any kind of change.
Right. And do you think she would be homeless before she decided to stop renting furniture?
I think it would get agonizingly close where it would probably permanently scar her in some way. So, like, it's a coin toss whether she'd be homeless. Like, it would be close enough that
that's your friend.
She's homeless.
That's your friend, and that's who you're helping, and I'm not saying to stop. No. I'm saying that discomfort and sitting alongside someone and caring about them and loving them it provides such visceral discomfort. And
I've never even. This is one of the worst things in my experience. Like, I don't know if I've ever been this uncomfortable. This is almost like completely deal breaking regarding hanging out with a person. It's just so stupid. It's like finding out your friend lit themselves on fire every month for 18 months, every month for 5 years.
Listen,
What do I do, Leslie? What do I do?
Well, listen, if you, I'm not to give you direct guidance in terms of how to manage your relationship or what you should do. That's a long thing. Maybe we can set aside some time. But in the immediate, I want you to know how valuable this discomfort is. Do not underestimate the value of this discomfort. You want to destroy your home. You have so much energy. So much vivid, visceral, like disgust in your veins right now. We have so many communal visions, though. One moment, you are very inspiring to everyone.
Oh yeah, I saw most of them, and they weren't worth two shits.
Caller, sounds like you've never experienced true strife. No shade, no lemonade, but keep your shit to yourself. Namaste, says Psyduck. Any response to that?
It's a call-in show, moron. What do you think we're here for?
Beautiful.
Idiot.
Onion plug. To further my own discomfort, can I give your friend all my credit card info? Also, caller, do you wipe front to back or back to front?
Ew, well, I'm not trying to get a UTI. And also, yeah, give her your credit card info. Maybe she'll suck your dick. It'll be great. Have fun.
All right, well, you have been terminated. Namaste.
Thank
Nindy knew I got you coming up in just a moment.
Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Yahoo Sirius 444 to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400 Clifford, the Big Red Dog, and Emily are taking over communications. Do not use your radio. The duo will track you and consume you. Fears mounting, even just being near the creature will give exposure to radiation. The beast glows a vibrant crimson and has an unsatiable hunger. The army has designed a large like tennis ball that is actual a nuclear weapon. It may be our last resort. Repeat. Cheer 400 Clifford, the Big Red Dog, and Emily are taking over communications. Do not use your radio. The duo will track you and consume you. Fears mounting, even just being near the creature will give exposure to radiation. The beast glows a vibrant crimson and has an unsatiable hunger. The army has designed a large like tennis ball that is actual a nuclear weapon. It may be our last resort. We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Namaste, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yahoo Sirius keeping us abreast of the whole Clifford situation. Very valuable information, raising that to the level of emergency. Very caring and compassionate of you. Nindy knew sort of a late little communal vision for Ashley. Hey, caller, maybe your friend is rich as fuck and loves wasting money. Get off her dick and let her live. So that's for Ashley, maybe in chat. Mother, for the record, if you somehow watch this VOD, I love you very, very much. This is a comedy show, and I love you. Do not take any of this seriously. This is Michaela, B2W Mom. Look at the power in that fear. The power. That's, ladies and gentlemen, I feel as if I'm a seismologist, feeling like the early perturbations of tectonic plates. I can smell the sulfur being released into the air as the tectonic plates rub against each other, beckoning an earthquake, beckoning a volcano. And that young lady, yep, I sure do like cats, a.k.a. Michaela, putting a little thing up just so in case her mom watches a Twitch VOD, that she knows, hey, we're just joking around. Well, listen, Michaela's mom, let me go ahead and say, we do mix a lot of comedy and play with very serious and committed work here. I've watched your daughter, Michaela, truly blossom. And it is through the power, the tenets of this personal power program and explorations with Leslie Tanner. And now let me say that all that shit she said was 100% real. I don't even remember, but I know what I feel. And that stuff was real. And you'll take it seriously. I think all she did was want to cut her bangs. Girl, cut your bangs. It's bangs night. You in the mirror. Go. Look at, there's so many TikTok videos of this stuff. Just like you get the little triangle on the front of your head and you whoop, do it. Shave your damn head. And also review the chat. Michaela's mom, if you're watching back in the VOD, review the chat. They're saying a lot of stuff about you right now. Real quick affirmation for these. You got to get the sweat wicking socks. They'll change your life. They really do add a lot of comfort. Namaste. I often spend a portion of my weekends sketching an anthropomorphized hamburger with fat tits and massive bush, telling me how crazy her ex is. The drawings are abysmal, but capture something ephemeral, bespoke. (708-240-8953). We got a caller. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What is something I can call you tonight?
We'll call me Todd.
Todd. Welcome to the program, Todd. Is this your first time calling, Todd?
You know, it's Todd's first time calling.
It's Todd's first time calling. Well, welcome to the program, Todd. How are you tonight? Can we get some namaste in the chat for Todd?
Yeah, Todd.
Todd, talk to me. How are you feeling?
I was just standing in the mirror, reflecting, having mirror reflections, as you would say.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what are we reflecting on?
I was just reflecting on, this magnificent body of mine and how I'd like to be a dolphin.
Interesting. How you'd like to be a dolphin. So what do you look like right now? What are you looking at in the picture? You've been terminated. Namaste, Todd. Waited on hold for about 7 minutes. Talk for about 30 seconds. Nighty-night, Todd. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hi, Leslie. It's Fisk.
Fisk, how we doing?
I'm so normal and so normal level of comfort. Yes.
Normal, having a normal time, normal level of comfort. Well, listen, I love the fact that you found a way to express that in the weirdest way possible.
What? No.
I
said that's so normal.
People that feel normal don't say all that shit you said. They say something like, I'm doing good, or I'm doing fine. Everybody welcome Psyop Smosher. Namaste to you. Welcome to the program. Namaste to you. Welcome Lilith 1116 to the program. Namaste, guys. Welcome in. Get comfortable. Use those channel points. Go ahead and guide your individual and our collective exploration through the buttons on the channel points. Namaste to you. Now, Fisk, I was just thinking about you earlier this evening. You kind of have like a... I was listening to Death Grips while I was doing dishes, and you kind of got like this sort of like ambient MC Ride vibe to you. Do you know what I mean?
MC what?
MC Ride from Death Grips.
Oh, I don't really listen to Death Grips. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be aware of the defunct band Death Grips and their music, their output, and they were led by an MC by the name of MC Ride, and using a lot of imagery and using that sort of very free mind to sort of go from A to C to F back to B, etc., etc. And definitely giving Fisk vibes though. Namaste. Well, listen. Fisk. So let's before we get off in the weeds tonight, we are exploring discomfort as the path of the next level. What is your familiarity with discomfort as a whole?
I'm pretty familiar with discomfort. I've spent like more than a year's amount of time just being like fully afraid of like actually being murdered and like constantly in fear until like my body got ill. And that's happened like more than and just like stuff like that. Like I'm pretty like familiar with just like sitting there, just like completely uncomfortable.
And your mind is yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, like whether it's like normal, whether it's like whether there's like an actual threat or like a threat imagined. I was just gonna put that in there too.
Oh, I love that. I love to hear that. So it sounds like your mind, when it comes to producing, reacting to, or even producing threats when not presented with an immediate threat, your mind is a machine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's got that down to a real tight little operation. And for a whole year, let's go back to that. That was an interesting thing. For a whole year, you imagined getting killed. Or was it more than that, or?
Well, it's just like on and off for like phases in my life. There's just been like times where I've been like I like can't lay down or like go to sleep without imagining dying or like being killed. And sometimes like the neighbors will just like make noises and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna like be killed.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Noise. Yeah, footsteps, doors opening and closing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Now, what are some of the ways you've imagined dying or being killed?
Like just like getting assaulted and then being killed, or like getting killed and then having my dead body be raped.
Yeah, sure. That's you were just really painting with all the colors of the wind, as they said in the film Pocahontas.
Or like as a child, I would imagine getting stabbed in the chest while I was trying to fall asleep. Because there was like people who would like threaten to murder me.
Yeah. So stabbed in the chest, assaulted, killed, raped, killed, rape, kill. Some combination of here. Are you ever chased in these imaginations?
No, there's honestly not a lot of chasing. There's not a lot of chasing.
Or do they just kind of get you? Quick rule of communal vision from Dreadlock. Caller, do you mean dying like falling off a building onto another building, or dying like dyeing colors onto rope and other fabrics, or haberdashery or shirts? Do you mean both?
No, I don't mean dyeing fabrics, and I don't mean falling off a building. I have no No, I don't really fear heights much.
Look, I think, yeah, I see where you're coming from, and we've got the walnuts. It's
I
been a
believe it
while.
was Stephen
Wait,
Hawking,
quick quote.
who famously posed the question of whether a penis could be so big it could have
There's a
sex
quote on
with
the
its own
screen right now.
ass.
Uh-oh.
Beautiful quote from me. Thank you so much to Psyduck. And the walnut saying, I'm in all caps, I'm an actual therapist. Let me handle this. Listen, brother, you're the last person that I want handling something like this. I think it goes without saying. I think therapists at large have done enough to worsen a situation like we just heard from Fisk. Real quick, walnuts. What would you even do? What would you even do in this situation? I'm eager. We got a therapist in the chat claiming they know what to do better than me, which is interesting to say the least. What would you do? All right, you just heard something. And while I would be person-centered. Okay, yeah. Well, that means bullshit. That means nothing. Oh my gosh, we have a chat that is filled with wall to wall with people who have wasted hundreds or thousands of dollars on person-centered, self-narrative, dialectical. Now I'm gonna say good to see you though, walnuts. Bingo, bango, bongo. Namaste, walnuts. Good to see you. Now, back to you, Fisk, though, because you really are my focus. That phrase person-centered should mean something, and for me, what that means right now, I'm focused on you, Fisk.
Okay.
Okay, now, Fisk, are you familiar with therapy? You go to therapy ever?
No, I've never been to therapy.
Huh?
No, I've never been to therapy.
Do not go.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
Do not go. Well, I mean, if you feel your heart, you feel as if it's something that needs to be explored, then, I'd be happy to explore that alongside you and hear about the tales, but I guarantee that it'll just waste your time and money and set you back, most likely. So, with this, let me ask this another question. This sort of rumination on being killed, raped, killed, raped, killed, raped, killed. Is this something that stalks you even to this day, or is that something that is kind of in the past now for you?
It's on and off. It's not really a problem at this very moment, but when I say on and off, I mean literally month to month, week to week.
So it's still around a little bit.
I mean, it's not, yeah. But I don't know, it's not as bad as it used to be. Like I said, I've literally made my own body ill just from the sheer anger.
Right.
And I haven't experienced that in a long time, so it's kind of whatever.
Right on. So right now it's whatever. But I want you to think about it this way, though. Discomfort being the path of the next level. And once again, Fisk, you have proven to be one of my most advanced explorers here at Explorations. Now, I know you shirk at that when I say that. You don't think you are. You don't think we're on the same page. We've had this discussion before. But what I'd like to say to you right now is that the level of discomfort that your mind naturally produces given your experience and circumstances. I work with people, normal people, for years to get even a fraction of what you are generating just by a natural extension of being awake. So firstly, I want you to know that you're advanced. So continue. What was that?
Oh, so never mind. I didn't hear the last word. Never mind.
No, you're advanced. And so what you got here is a wealth. So, and it's going to be coming back. And how has this made so you got sick from anger. Now, how else has this detracted from the quality of your life?
I mean, if you get sick because of that, you can't do stuff. You just lay around for amounts of time, and that's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Can't really do anything but scroll on your phone, and I don't like that.
Right. Well, and then add that to the phone. Yeah, it's your mind and certain nervous system are flooded. Then you go to your phone. And that kind of just, like, it dulls it, yet compounds it, right?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm pretty good about...
Real quick, we got a psychic emergency issued by Pepperoncini. One moment.
This is the Psychic Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Pepperoncini to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400, I saw a baby scream itself to death. He turned purple. His face was frozen in an endless scream. I saw it and there was nothing anyone could do. Repeat. Cheer 400, I saw a baby scream itself to death. He turned purple. His face was frozen in an endless scream. I saw it and there was nothing anyone could do. We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Thank you so much, Pepperoncini. I appreciate that. That's terrible. Terrible stuff.
You know who that's from, right?
Isn't that from Gene?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Gene, right?
I miss him.
I miss him too. Powerful, colorful young man.
Yeah.
Gene, if you watch this VOD, know that we miss you. Now, so paralyzed, can't move, go to your phone, makes it worse. So you become sick, you become so angry that you want to throw up. How often do you cry?
I don't know.
Real quick quote.
Sometimes I just stare for up to an hour at my biceps, triceps, lats, and quads to help manifest gains.
It works. Okay, continue. How often do you cry?
Like a normal amount, I guess. Okay. I don't know, like, what's a normal amount, like... Maybe, it's like thrice a month. That's, like, pretty normal.
Thrice a month. Yeah, it's not too much, not too little. Keeping that in that...
Yeah,
that
like, what counts as, like, a cry session? Because, like, what if you, like, cry and then, like, you keep crying, but it's, like...
Real quick affirmation for ladies. You should not cry more than 3 times a month. If you cry more than that, there's something wrong with you. Period. End of story.
Yeah, but, like, what counts, like, when do you stop crying? And, like, when do you start crying?
Oh, like, what counts as a full cry?
Or, when does the cry begin and end? So, like, how do you count that if you're so out of it that you don't even, know when you're crying and when you're not crying? You know, when you haven't been crying, like, you're not crying, but, like, your nose is still, like, stuffy. Like, does that, count as a part of the cry session?
I suppose,
you know?
Yeah. Or maybe just, like, an after effect of the sesh? Or do you... What feels right to you? Would you consider that part of the cry if you had to pick?
If I like come back to then continue crying again, then yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say in your case that it counts.
Okay. Why did you ask me this again?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out. The reason I sound different for people in the chat is because whatever I would call Leslie in the past, I would literally be like half awake.
And you're more fully awake or less than half awake tonight?
No, I'm more fully awake.
Okay. Now, Fisk, what you've done for us tonight is really paint a full picture of what discomfort looks like. A whole host of, what a therapist might describe as undiagnosed mental illnesses, which I hope you never get diagnosed. I hope you never visit these people. And I mean that genuinely. This part's not a joke. Don't go to a therapist. Yahoo Serious. I think a fourth cry is allowed if your rented couch is ugly, says Yahoo Serious. Steel Forged Gaming with a raid. Namaste, Raiders. Everybody welcome the Steel Forged Gaming Raiders in on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Namaste. Namaste, you you guys, it's so wonderful to have you in our fold. I'm speaking to Fisk Mummy right now on explorations as we explore discomfort as the path of the next level. So much very pregnant exploration tonight. The gang has really put their nose to the grindstone, and I'm very proud of them. Namaste. Steel Forge, how was the stream? Steel, talk to me about the stream. How was it? Namaste, and it's wonderful to have you, by the way, guys. Now, go ahead. This is the most effective personal power program in the country. If you're just now getting settled in, if you're coming from that raid and have not seen this before, this is the most effective personal power program in the country. My name is Leslie Tanner, host, creator, and founder of the most effective power program in the country. Explorations with Leslie Tanner, a former therapist. I've trained in every spiritual discipline. I'm a martial artist, musician, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. I don't have to give time to give it all. Oh, quick affirmation, fellas. You're right to not want to go to therapy, and anybody that tells you to go to therapy is trying to fucking kill you. Namaste.
What about a psychiatrist?
Huh?
What about a psychiatrist?
No.
They can give you they can hook you up with something weird though. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends. Depends. Are you ahead of the ball? Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to lie to get, or not even lie, if you're just trying to get meds, fuck it. Yeah, go for it.
Just manipulating people.
Real quick affirmation for these. If anybody tries to get you to go to therapy, do not. That person is trying to fucking kill you. That's a double. That's a double for these. That's a double for there. They're trying to genocide, exterminate you. Psychic emergency. It's a non-binary genocide. Getting you guys to go to therapy. Psychic emergency, real fast from Yahoo Serious.
This is the Psychic Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Yahoo Sirius 444 to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400 Clifford the Big Red Dog has stumbled into the ice arena. The powerful Pooch is slipping and sliding while chasing the Zamboni. We are hopeful his lack of traction can contain him, although Emily has commanded his aura to generate heat. RPGs from the nosebleeds only bounce off. The local skate park has filled the bowl with water to draw the dog's thirst. The army reports it contains rupees. If he sleeps, we can collar him. Repeat. Cheer 400 Clifford the Big Red Dog has stumbled into the ice arena. The powerful Pooch is slipping and sliding while chasing the Zamboni. We are hopeful his lack of traction can contain him, although Emily has commanded his aura to generate heat. RPGs from the nosebleeds only bounce off. The local skate park has filled the bowl with water to draw the dog's thirst. The army reports it contains rupees. If he sleeps, we can collar him. We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Beautiful. Well, namaste, Yahoo Serious, keeping us abreast of that Clifford the Big Red Dog situation. Still, guys, when you hear about this, keep in mind, Clifford the Big Red Dog being a fictional red dog, and this is all sort of a subconscious hallucination, essentially, the unconscious mind breaching and not, I would say Yahoo Serious probably abused as a child, most likely, while reading a Clifford the Big Red Dog, probably got touched while reading a Big Red Dog book or something like this. And this is just like a constant reality. So as tragic, but also very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. Namaste to you. Appreciate that, Yahoo. Now, okay. So let's wrap this up, Fisk. You don't need guidance in this discomfort area, and as always, you've provided us with a service simply by being yourself and telling us about your life. So I want to thank you for that.
Okay, you're welcome, I guess.
Yep. And anything else that you'd like to share with the chat? Because I do consider you to be a leader here. I do consider you to be a very advanced explorer. And just anything off the top of your mind for, any fledgling explorers. We've got a lot of new guys in the chat tonight.
Not really. Some guy in the chat was like, AI therapist is going to change up the game, though. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
Oh my God. In
you're
a way,
talking about.
I'm absolutely on that side because the value of therapy should be to make it worse. Stab Comedy, namaste rating. Namaste to Stab Comedy. We are flush with raters. We are obscenely rich with raters tonight. Namaste. Blessings to, and welcome to the most effective personal power program in the country, Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Thank you so much for joining us. I guarantee to unlock and transform your life with a power you've always known you've possessed. Namaste. Now, blessing. Stab, how was the stream, by the way? Stab. Talk to me, Stab. How was the stream? Okay. Now, as I was saying, Fisk, there's a guy talking about AI therapy. What do you think about that?
I mean, actually, I was going to disagree on what you were saying earlier about, like not to go to therapy or a psychiatrist, because, like, for me, that just depends on, like, how much are they actually looking at your physical brain, not just, like, trying to convince you of, like, random shit. So I don't know. Maybe if they can, like, make the AI, like, actually, like, study your facial, like, micro expressions and stuff.
Ooh,
I don't know. It could be like really, really, really bad, but like being really, really, really bad can make it into something that's like dangerously good.
Quick guided meditation donations for the Kill Dozers. Soaring through the sky, wings of a bird, floating, feathery, touching the clouds, drinking the sweet syrup of sunlight. As you graze the top of the clouds and dip below them, you realize this is the best day of your life. You sneeze and feel yourself slowly start to fall. You're just falling. Nothing fancy about it, but you're terrified. Because you know, as you fall, you're going to die. And as you die, there's a guy waiting. He's going to touch you after you're dead. This is real. Not a hallucination. It's real as hell. You fall from the sky and now you're getting molested by a guy that just kind of found your dead body. Not all meditations are good. All right, Fisk, thanks so much for that. Let's talk about AI therapy next time, all right? This is a very pregnant beginning of a conversation.
Okay, one last thing is that reality is about to destroy itself in around the year like 2027, 2028, and we're all going to be extremely uncomfortable.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Namaste. Namaste, Fisk. Yep, I sure do like cats. Rating with 2. Okay, thank you. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. We got a quick communal vision from Cooker Pie coming in. Would it be unethical to pay a psychic to tell my friend to stop renting furniture? Let me throw that to you, caller. What do you think? All right, I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you, Cooker Pie. Would it be unethical to pay a psychic to tell my friend to stop renting furniture? No. Not unethical. It's not unethical. The only way that would be unethical is if you believe that it's wrong to exert power over the weak and vulnerable, or at least weaker than you. And I don't believe that. You're allowed to do that. That's how this world... That's just a reality, whether you like it or not. So, ethically, you're fine. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's up, I can call you?
It's Poor.
Poor, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm in the discomfort.
Talk to me about that.
I was rushing to get to work. because I'm always almost late.
Sure.
And I was putting on my hoodie, my little hoodie, and I pulled my shoulder really bad. I've had bubbles all day and drank some coffee. So.
Nigel Pennyweather with the Communal Vision. Can't wait to get this perspective. Thanks so much, Nigel. Renting furniture, you think you're a damn Rothschild? Anyone who has an issue with milk crates and foldable lawn chairs isn't your friend.
I love milk crates.
So, poor, we're doing bad tonight, huh?
A little bit. It's just uncomfortable.
Right,
Okay.
right. So, this pulling your shoulder, have you been doing like workouts lately, or is this like just like a weird little thing that happened?
It's a weird little thing that happened. Like I do labor, do hard labor for work, so I can't do anything at work if I do it. But it always happens when I'm sleeping, when I'm putting on my clothes. It hurts real bad.
And have you taken any medicine for it, brother?
Took a couple ibuprofens.
How's that
Didn't
working?
do anything though. It's just whatever.
Talk to me now. With this this shoulder, have you had this problem before? Your shoulder hurting?
Yeah. It's happened a couple of times, but it's not always the same shoulder. I just do this to myself.
And you do it to yourself. The way you phrase that, you do it to yourself.
Yeah, it's not like I was doing something stupid. I just wake up and it happens.
How does it feel to know that you do it to yourself then, Porter? You know, some people, if they think that God is doing it to them or the universe is doing it to them or this is just luck, but you say, very interestingly, that I do it to myself. How does that feel?
I mean, I do it to myself. It's not like a flagellation thing. It's just like damn, I don't know. It feels like it's just about time. It's supposed to happen, and it happens every so often. And I have to deal with it. And I have to balance looking like a lazy sad sack who's wincing all day.
Steelforge Gaming throwing down a second month sub. I like seeing the sides of your head. Namaste. See, it's been a very controversial thing tonight, Steelforge. I appreciate you saying so. I've had several people say that they do not like it. Steelforge Gaming, they say that they do not like it. But I appreciate you saying so. It really means a lot. Namaste to you.
It looks like a Frankenstein.
Oh, that's fun.
Looks like it'll grow in kind of nice.
Cougar Pie says, poor is handsome and pretty people shouldn't suffer.
Aww.
How does that feel, though, to be suffering in spite of that?
I mean, it could be happening to an ugly person, but I feel like I'm ugly enough to suffer. I feel like pretty people deserve to suffer too.
They suffer less, though.
I guess. I don't think I have that privilege. I don't.
No, I've seen you. You do. I mean, it's relative speaking. I mean, there's people, there's a lot of people better looking than you, but there's also a lot of people not, they're nowhere near as good looking as you, and their lives, I work with a lot of them, they're bad. Their lives suck.
But then they get to, oh, what the hell? They get to, marry other ugly people.
Yeah, but, listen, if you walk into a bank with a middling credit score, try to get a loan for a car or house, you're just not going to pull it off. Now, you got a mug like yours and a little voice like yours. You got this, you have a very, kind of affable demeanor. You make people want to like you. make people want to take care of you. You, brother, are going to have so much more success than somebody who just looks like shit. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I guess like if I went to work, there's a guy, he's been really nice. It's like, oh man, pull the shoulder, I've been there. He's looking all day. I said, oh man, I'm glad
Real
you can
quick,
relate.
communal vision from Sida. Guru is a slice. Let's break a piece of that off. Sheesh.
Let's break a piece.
Namaste. Now, what were you saying? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay. Oh, there's this guy, I don't know, it just feels good. There's a guy at work, and he's like being pretty supportive of my stiff shoulder.
Okay, well, that's nice. That's nice to know.
I feel like, yeah, maybe if I was ugly and weird, he'd be like, this little creep is nibbling and whining again.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people, you know, regardless of like what their demeanor is in their heart and mind, they communicate it like shit. And it sort of elicits distrust and a sort of disdain and you know, ask a lot of autistic people. They can't, you know, oftentimes I work with a lot of autistic people in this position that, you know, they've got their life together in so many ways, but they have this very off-putting way of communicating, and normal people who don't know about the condition of autism, they're just like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I especially feel like communicating discomfort in that regard, like they're just really bad at it, and they'll be like, wow, and it's like they'll just complain about it in a way that's like really unendearing. It doesn't make you want to feel bad for them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know. There's that. Then there's that whole aspect to it too, and the love on the spectrum is a really good example. You know, you get like a gaggle of the good ones, and just kind of watch them sort of kiss each other, and everybody's like, oh.
Like you seen that one where it was the two ladies, and they're like, you ever wonder what it would be like to kiss a woman? And it was like, yeah, I think about that sometimes.
See, I love that. I love that. Getting them together, and it's a funny thing about the empathy that is sort of conjured by that show, because it's not the good ones that need the bulk of the empathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same with I think we at least get one bad one in there.
Yeah, you need like a fish tank contestant level weirdos in there.
That's what I'm saying. Do a love on the spectrum with yeah, somebody pitch Sam Hyde a love on the spectrum with all the
oh yeah, Sam Hyde dating show.
retarded people that he works with. Yeah. Well, beautiful stuff. You know, I'm both sorry but also gladdened to hear about your shoulder.
Yeah, it's work. It works good.
The frailty of the body is such a perfect way to begin, you know, a lot of our journey in the program. Of course, you've been here for a while. You know the routes up and down the mountain, but you know, as a nice little back to basics reminder, brother, you got a shoulder and you got a body that's falling apart actively right now.
Yeah.
A curse of death. Beautiful stuff. You're breaking up a little bit. Say that again.
So I started the program. I expressed my discomfort, and you helped me hold on to it.
Poor, that's beautiful. If that in itself is a milestone of accomplishment. Guys, can we get some namaste for Poor right now? Can we get some namaste in the chat for Poor? That was beautiful. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, I just know it's real. Like if I get anxiety, if I'm upset about something, I just let it happen. I say that's real, and I'm gonna embrace it.
Namaste. Poor, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, brother. It is always a treat to speak to Poor. Guys, you know it's time. I got to take a piss. I got to take a pee-pee break. But guys, allow this moment to sort of wipe the gunk from your mind's eye and prepare for the second half of Explorations tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. And while you're at it, stick around for a couple details about my community of devoted light at patreon.com, where I host my library of materials, podcasts, videos, music downloads, etc., etc. They all can be yours tonight for just a couple dollars a month. And it is the most effective way to support this program, making sure the light that is generated by this program extend into the darkest corners of this online experience. Namaste, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with Explorations with Leslie Tanner.
Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Since Leslie and his program broke onto the scene, Explorations has become the #1 best-selling and most influential personal power program in modern history. Millions of people from all over the world have gotten a chance to meet this truly remarkable man and utterly transform their lives with the power of Explorations.
I listened to this introductory tape and I knew then and there, this is what I needed. I felt just so much better knowing there are a bunch of people out there suffering like me.
I'm not kidding you. I think after the first tape, I knew, okay, I'm gonna be fine.
I got such relief from the very beginning, starting the program.
Now that you've gotten a taste of what this program is capable of, it's time to show you how to take your life to the next level. Here to tell you more about what is possible is legally licensed clinical therapist, author, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, martial artist, amateur musician, one of the nation's foremost thinkers, and our guru, Leslie Tanner.
Good evening, everyone. Whether you've been with us since the very beginning and have watched Explorations work wonders in your life, or you're joining us for the first time tonight, I say namaste to you. As you've watched Explorations in action during our call-in show, no doubt your mind is reeling from the limitless potential you now know is possible. Between the tailored themes and lectures, to the myriad avenues of exploration through the channel points, to the customized ways to interact with me and the community, there simply has never been anything quite like this program. Now is usually the point in one of these self-help programs where it starts to sound like a sales pitch. Someone like me might normally say something like, "Listen, I know your time is precious. Let me cut to the chase." But there's only one problem with that. We know your time isn't precious. I could speak at length for hours and hours about absolutely nothing, and I still wouldn't be wasting your time because, well, you're here, looking for a fast, all-encompassing solution to the problems in your life that have become so intolerable, you're not sure what you're going to do. You may be considering any number of extreme decisions, ranging from short-term band-aids to more permanent solutions. However, as dark and bleak as your situation is, so too must our tools be bright and revolutionary. So whether you're tired and looking for more energy and enthusiasm for life, or maybe you're lonely and isolated but want better relationships, let me tell you that for these things and so much more, my breakthrough program of explorations to explore the universe and beyond really works. It's worked for elite performance athletes, critically acclaimed artists, best-selling authors, entrepreneurs, and for thousands of others just like you. I have been blessed by the universe for a brief moment that I now command upwards of $50,000 for speaking engagements. But through the technology of this program, you can hire me, Leslie Tanner, as your personal therapist, coach, and guru, all rolled into one at the Community of Devoted Light on Patreon.com, where you and thousands of others just like you are learning to leverage the chaos around them to catapult their lives to heights that were previously unimaginable. Here's how it works. I've created a tightly knit community where individuals seeking to access the next level are able to study, reflect, meditate, and grow with an ever-expanding library of exclusive materials, each containing life-changing tools and techniques designed to explore topics covered here in our call-in show, but much more deeply, therefore increasing the benefits of the program exponentially. These materials include your name in the credits at the end of the stream, demonstrating the importance of your leadership and the value of your investment. A signed personal postcard sent out each month full of observations and witticisms by me, Leslie Tanner. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Exclusive video materials not available to the poor, designed to rocket your progress past those who cannot afford success. Here's a little sneak peek at what you're missing.
Aldi brand Kool-Aid is just as good as the normal Kool-Aid. And if you're gonna be like me, Leslie Tanner, and have a warm, casual time in the summer, then I think it's important that we keep this in mind, that Aldi brand Kool-Aid is just every bit as refreshing and tasty as name brand Kool-Aid. Bottoms up, I'll show you an example.
Downloads of all specially crafted music used in our productions here and elsewhere that have accompanied your journey thus far. Tracks such as New Beginnings, Psychic Romance, Reaching into Darkness, or The Skeptic's Gamble. Exclusive archival prints such as these, channeled and honed by myself, Leslie Tanner, upon which you can guide your own meditations at home. I'm not an artist, nor do I claim to be. These visions are a burden and cause me immense suffering. But I do it for you. Now, you might expect that a program like this would cost thousands of dollars, but because I'm offering this to you through the internet, these life-transforming materials can be yours for the monthly cost of a few cups of coffee on your way to work. With access to these materials, regardless of your level of investment, you will also be receiving a complimentary download of our landmark track, The Sojourn Begins, as a thank you. So does this sound good to you? Well, what are you waiting for? If you are ready to join the thousands of others who have already committed to the final journey to access the next level, simply type Final Journey into the chat and you will be guided with further instructions. One thing I can promise you is that however massive your problems are, however abject and humiliating your life has become, I have created something so simple yet so profound in this program, you'll be absolutely flabbergasted by the results. Now, let's get back to the program. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. It's me, Leslie, host, creator, and founder of Explorations, the most effective personal power program in the country. That was a couple words about my inner circle. So if you guys, you heard the spiel, if you're ready for the real program materials, the videos, the podcasts, etc., listen, it can be yours tonight. Now, some of you can't afford this, and that is part and parcel for the rest of your life. You can't afford that. You can't afford many of the things that will provide quality to your life. You're used to suffering. You're used to suffering more, and also suffering within the eye shot and earshot of those with just a little bit more resource than you who have better lives. This breeds resentment now, and also a disdain. And as powerful as those can be, just remember that your life will never be as good as those who can afford the community of devoted light at patreon.com.
Nightmares are a real number.
Beautiful quote. Thank you so much, Yahoo Serious. That was a good one that I said. That was a fantastic one that I said. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Namaste. So how's everyone doing, guys? How's everyone doing? We're in the second half of the program tonight, getting settled in. We got time for a couple more calls. Monsoon, how we doing? I see you holding it down at youtube.com over there. We got another caller on the line. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's a quick communal vision, actually, before we get started? Communal vision from Cougar Pie. I think we should have a telethon where callers showcase their special talents. Cougar Pie, listen, we got some exciting announcements to make in the next, couple days, to be pretty honest. July is going to be a very special month. July is going to be our Growth to Nowhere month. Last year we did it. Last June, July is going to be our Growth to Nowhere month. We got a lot of stuff planned. It's going to be a very exciting month. We're doing a telethon at the end of the month. More announcements to come about that. But namaste to you, VXC over at YouTube, brother. Good to see you, caller. Thank you for being so patient. My name is Leslie. What's something I could call you tonight?
Hey there, Guru. How you doing, big dog?
Oh,
how you doing there, Bo?
Look who it is, guys. It's Wiki Wiva. It's always the perfect time for a Wiki Wiva call. I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, man, I'm doing really good. I had a really good dinner. I had a cannoli. Can you believe it? A cannoli with a meatball and the spinach up in there. Dip it in that red meat sauce a little bit.
You're talking about cannoli like the dessert?
Maybe it was a stromboli. I don't know. It's Italian dish. Cannoli, a stromboli.
Stromboli, that's the
It was really good though. I would take it.
Describe like the food that you ate, Wiki. Just give as much detail as possible.
It was like a piece of bread wrapped around. It was like a big piece of bread, but inside was like pizza stuff, like cheeses and the meatballs and the spinach and like some kind of ricotta cheese or some fancy or something up in there.
Calzone or something like that.
And then you got some meat sauce you dip it in.
Yeah.
Red meat sauce.
That's beautiful. Stromboli or a calzone or something. That sounds delicious.
Calzone, that was it. Guru, you're a smart man. Look at that genius.
Wiki.
Calzone.
I am experienced. So what can I say? What can I say?
You know that language. You know another language. Look at you.
What can I say? I know a thing or two. But Wiki, I'm so glad that you had such a satisfying dinner tonight with this calzone. I love a calzone.
Me too.
Now, talk to me. Last time you called, you got ribs with a little lady. Now, this calzone, did you go solo on it? Cougar Pie gifting a sub to Huck 5. Namaste, Cougar Pie. Thank you so much, hon.
Namaste.
Talk to me. So
yeah, that way. No, I was all alone this time, there, Guru. You know, sometimes the ladies, they come through like a nice breezy wind. They stay for a couple months. And then sometimes you get the fall ladies. And then once in a while you catch your summer. Then you catch your winter. Them winter girls, you gotta watch out. They scary.
Scary. The winter girls are scary. Talk to us about that, Wiki. Why are the winter girls scary?
Well, the winter girls, when they come out, they come out in the winter? Who come out in the wintertime? You tell me. Who come out in wintertime? Big polar bear? That's gonna kill you, for sure. Some white wolf somewhere eat you up. I mean,
see.
who will come out wintertime? When the snow come out, I mean, you got all kind of trouble. And then one of them girls gonna come out that back room. She know a thing or two about a thing or two. You in trouble.
You're in
you
trouble.
Stay away from them winter girls. Them winter girls will whip you up.
Now, talk to me. Tonight, Wiki, we are discussing and exploring discomfort as the path of the next level. Discomfort as the path of the next level. Talk to me. Pepperoncini, I can, with a communal vision, can't wait to get into this perspective. Thanks so much, Gene. I can see Wiki shacking up with a little snow bunny.
Girl with a bunny ear would be really cute. That'd be a cute girl right there.
Talk to us, though, Wiki. If you had to give us some tips and tricks of how to guard yourself against the winter, the winter ladies, what would you ask us to keep in mind?
Well, it's normally about the winter months. When you're out there and it's wintertime all the time, I feel bad for you cats. You catching both ends of the stick. You know what I mean? Them winter states, they have a hard time. They got winter all the time. And them they having bad ends of the both sticks right there. But the winter girls, they mostly stay in the house and they got a lot of time to think. And that's scary. If you ain't moving and grooving, you got somebody with their mind munching around. Woo! You talk about a scary human being. They got all kind of walls to crawl on. And you're going to be up on one of them walls before you know it. And that's a winter girl.
Wow. Now, Wiki, that first of all, thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, girl.
This wisdom that you have, that you give us a lot of insight, you know, a lot of it coming from personal experience, but yet really touches something at the core of the human experience. And it's a gift that you have, and I don't think anyone can deny that. So firstly and foremostly, thank you once again for this little bit of something that you've given us tonight.
Namaste.
Namaste to you. Now, discomfort.
I know about a lot of kind of discomfort.
Talk to me, Wiki. I was going to ask, what are some of the forms of discomfort that come to mind, Wiki? Talk to me.
Well, there's one in particular that really bothers me. I mean, you can have all kind of physical pain, but sometimes they come like after a while. Let's say you got a bad finger, and it's always just been a bad finger. After a while, you get used to bad finger. You and him, you kind of know that pain. Not a big deal anymore. Y'all become old friends. But what's even more serious sometimes is a deeper suffering, like a soul suffering. Like when I be out cutting the yard, and it's a little hot. You know, I let it go a little too long. Maybe I was doing a little bit too extra much recording. Maybe I was writing too many songs. Maybe I was diddling too much. I don't know. But I get out there cutting that yard, and you hit a couple of strips, and you get in the middle, and you hit that big pile of dog shit. And you know that smell. It gonna go everywhere. It gonna waft in the air. It gonna steam around. You're gonna get to sniffing that dog shit, and you're gonna be like, what in the world have I done? And then you gotta look for your shoes. Did it spread out that way? Did it spray out everywhere else? And I don't even have a dog. I don't have a dog. I like puppy dogs, but I ain't got a dog. Do I watch a kitty cat? Yeah, I like them little girl Kit Kat. But I ain't got no cat. Who's shitting in my yard? Now, it could be wild dogs. Who knows? But I wanted to some shit like that. That's a spiritual downplay. That's like a sunny day, sunny rainbow, going wait that right down to a drip drop day, a gray day.
Wow.
That would spiritually bring me down like that. That's a pain. That's a discomfort.
You know, a lot of us, when I said, to kind of go back to a caller that we had earlier in the stream tonight, I don't know if Walnuts is still with us. Probably not. But he was a therapist in our chat, kind of throwing his weight around, saying, "Hey, let me weigh in here as a therapist." Really, kind of missing the point of the stream. However, I tell people, it brought up this thing, I tell people not to go to therapy, right? Or I tell people to stop going to therapy pretty often. And one of the reasons, Wiki, is, for example, you just talked to us about, the way you speak about the human experience, Wiki. We can see it in the way you speak, but also your musical and creative output, your lyrics and whatnot. You speak to the core of human subjectivity, period, in a general and universal way, I'd say. It's a gift that you have.
Oh, that's very kind.
It is what it is, Wiki. It is what it is. If it was otherwise, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying right now. However, the part of the flattening, part of the castration, part of the annihilation that occurs in therapy is robbing us of that which you just gave us. Brother, you have an untainted mind. Rather than talking about depression, you talk to us about a specific experience that you had and used very colorful, vivid language to sort of communicate a subjective experience. You didn't have to, at any point, sort of appeal to scientific, psychological thinking. You didn't have to talk about the DSM. You didn't have to talk about any of that dog shit. I'll say it. I'll say it as a therapist. Yahoo Serious 444, gas-powered, ripping through streaming lawn turds. Sounds like an idea for a song, Wiki.
Wow, that's a good idea there.
Gas-powered, ripping through steaming lawn turds is the pitch. What do you think about it?
Well, that's pretty deep. I had to work on that one a little bit. Workshop it a little bit, but I think we got some wigs. You got wigs.
You got wigs. Okay, well, listen.
I appreciate that. I know I'm not too deep of a deep guy, but I know what you're talking about with them peoples. You got enough wild crosswalk in your own head already. Why are you going to let somebody cross the both of you up and have you double thinking about that was that, or that, or am I that big that, or dead that? Because if I thought that was just that, and now that's that too, that's a bunch of wires I got to mess with now. I mean, I'm already messed up already. So me out jigging around with the wires up there, no way. No thank you.
Brother, there's nothing I can add to that. There's nothing I can add to that. I'm just going to let that stay where it is. Let people feel their feelings and think their thoughts. But before I let you go, Wiki, I got to ask. Brother, can we have a little bit of something? A little bit of song, maybe even just a little piece of a song. You can always say no, but I got to always ask. Wiki, do you have a song you've been working on or been thinking about?
I do have one. We've been practicing in the band room the past couple of weeks, and I kind of like it. It's an oldie but a goodie, but I like it. It's the Rolling Stone. It's a Painted Black, and I want to do a little piece of that one, if that's okay.
Absolutely, Wiki. I went ahead and paused the music on my end. The stage is yours. Whenever you're ready, you just let it rip.
All right, we're gonna do Painted Black. I want 2, 3, 4. Bow now 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 now. I see a window and I want it painted black. No more colors anymore. I want to turn them black. I see the girls walk by, dressed in the summer clothes. No. I have to turn my head until my doctor goes. No. I see a wind of cars and they all painted black, with flowers and flowers, both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and they quickly walk away like a newborn baby. It just happens every day. And that's the first verse of that one there.
Wiki, if you'll join me, we're just dovetailing into a Jazz Express, brother. If you'll join me, I'm going to be serenading a little bit, hopping aboard the Jazz Express. Would you join me? A little bit of back and forth.
Let's do one. Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'll get it started and I'll tell you when it's your turn, okay?
That sounds good.
Wiki, go ahead.
I see my mind. Don't mess with my mind. Come on, wait, don't you whip me down. Come on, baby, don't you cry. Would up, now let's go. I get down, you. Something, bring you down, now, baby, sugar.
Wow, Wiki, thank you so much. Listen, I don't want to exhaust you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and thanks for tickling with me a little bit on the Jazz Express. All right, brother?
Oh man, I had a great time. Namaste. Thank you for letting me part in jazz.
Namaste, of course, Wiki. It's my pleasure. Namaste. Wow. Putting you on hold. Namaste. I'll be right back with you, caller. Cougar Pie. Namaste. I'm looking at the Cougar Pie gift of 25 community subs. Sweet Christ. Namaste. Cougar Pie, breastfeeding us all on this beautiful evening in the middle of this Jazz Express, thrusting the train of the jazz further and further, further and further. Hypocryptomatic. Jazz isn't gross anymore. It's wonderful, says Hypocryptomatic. Beautiful. See that? Hypocryptomatic, we've been complaining about this thing forever. Finally on board. Namaste. Cougar Pie, this part's for you. Namaste. That was for Cougar Pie. Blessings. Great to see you. Blake, great to be with you. And Cougar Pie really making sure this program, really stepping up and making sure this program it fulfills the light that this world needs. Really, namaste to you. Blessings. As asked Cersei, namaste to you. Let's get back into it. Beautiful. Wow. There's something in the air right now. Something in the air tonight. Blessings to you. I'm drinking Diet Coke. That's firstly and foremostly in the air. This sensual Diet Coke that I've been sipping on. Sensual Diet Coke. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of that. Zasirse, thank you so much for being a part of that. Cougar Pie, thank you so much for being a part of that. Wow. Let's turn this music back on. Let me get this caller back in here. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's up, Mike? I can call you tonight.
Amelia,
how we doing tonight, sweetheart?
hi, I'm doing all right. You know, we had a good conversation last night. Figured I'd come back in.
Yes. Well, listen, where did we leave off last time? Because I also want to weave into our theme tonight.
talking about how much of a loser I was.
Beautiful. Okay, good. That's right. I remember very distinctly now. We were talking about how, you're not employed, you're not going anywhere, you don't want to go anywhere. Real quick psychic emergency, though, coming in from Yahoo Serious.
This is the Psychic Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Yahoo Sirius 444 to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400 Clifford the Big Red Dog is actively chasing the Wiener Mobile. The Terror Hound thinks the Bund Hot Dog Hot Rod is a real sausage. We are hoping the simulated Frankfurter on wheels can lead the dog towards the dam and trap him. Use fireworks and smelly food. Hot radioactive dog piss is melting the highway all the way out of town. As he departs, his fur's ketchup glow is hopefully the end of the beast's reign over town. Repeat. Cheer 400 Clifford the Big Red Dog is actively chasing the Wiener Mobile. The Terror Hound thinks the Bund Hot Dog Hot Rod is a real sausage. We are hoping the simulated Frankfurter on wheels can lead the dog towards the dam and trap him. Use fireworks and smelly food. Hot radioactive dog piss is melting the highway all the way out of town. As he departs, his fur's ketchup glow is hopefully the end of the beast's reign over town. We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Yeah, namaste, Yahoo Serious. Appreciate you keeping us abreast of your hallucinations. Whether you're willing to, ready to hear that or not, I'm offering it to you. Have you asked the question of what you're experiencing is real or not? How do you know if reality is real? That's a question for Yahoo Serious. How do you know if reality is real? Now, namaste. So, Amelia, you were just referred to in chat by Not Mish as our neat princess. How does that feel to hear?
Validating. Beautiful. It's exactly what I'm going for.
Right. So, that one worry that I have, and this is that, in being a neat and in being a sort of, loser, as we were discussing a moment ago, to deprive yourself of feeling like a loser is only harming you in the long run, right? We want you to feel the brunt of that. You're not going anywhere. You're dead in the water.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I do feel it pretty strongly.
Yeah, good. Okay, so as long as we keep that, in fact, we can play these games with the validation, the empowerment, yada yada, but at the moment that it interferes with our conception of ourselves, especially in your case, Amelia, a conception of ourselves as these losers, dying losers going nowhere and for no reason, then we can play these Spice Girls games, I suppose. But
I mean, the pain, I would say, is pretty visceral. The feeling of it. It never really goes away. You can't really. You can become comfortable in the discomfort, but the discomfort's still always there.
Right. Talk to me. So last time we talked, we got a good idea of like what your day-to-day life looks like in a general sense. So what I'd like to explore with you then is let's talk about the emotional experience of your life being that way. Discomfort. And you said it's visceral, it's constant.
Yeah, it's horrifying, traumatic.
Give us some details about that. What go into even more detail.
Yeah, it feels very like hollowing. Like there's sort of like a black hole within my chest that's sort of consuming me, or if not consuming me, perhaps is me. That I am sort of nothing. That, how do I say, I've sort of been swallowed by the darkness of existence. Existence itself feels deeply uncomfortable and visceral. It's sort of like a body horror movie, but simply by being within the flesh of your own skin.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you simply cannot find a more succinct description of the human condition and the foundation upon which this entire personal power program, as effective as it is, it's effective because exactly what you just heard out of Amelia's mouth is universal. We are disgusted by what Amelia just gave us, not because it's foreign, not because it can be overcome, because for the simple fact that it is the universal human condition. We can play games. We can run from it. We can believe we're achieving something, that we're accomplishing dreams and goals. We're empowering ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at is the bare bones of human experience and the launch point, in a sense, of unlocking the power of the next level. So, Amelia, thank you so much for calling and offering that. I really appreciate that, firstly.
Of course, I'm happy to. You know, I do think I'm sort of uniquely self-aware in my position, and in a unique position to sort of express the feelings and the thoughts that come from such a place, and to have that resonate to other humans who may not be in the same place, who may, know nothing except, quote unquote normal life. Thankfully, really expressing myself, has been maybe my top skill in writing, because I have nothing to do except really, think and flesh out thoughts and explore myself and the outside.
Talk to me. So let's take it through a day, though. Let's take it through. You wake up. What is this? Of course, we're describing this in the general sense, in the abstract sense, and like a philosophical sense or something. But take us through the day. When do you wake up? What do you do?
So I wake up. Usually, probably the first thing I think about is first thing I'd say is like fuck, just.
And why do you say it?
Exhale.
Why do you say it?
Because I woke up. I'm here again.
Okay.
I'm in my room. I'm in the world. It's not my preference, but it is what it is. So I pick up. I think about. My next thought is the number one person I miss at the moment. This changes throughout the years, but I'll then think, name, and I'll be like, fuck, again. And then I'll go onto my phone, and I'll start doom scrolling. I'll start going through all the apps, going through the motions. Then after an hour or two, and it's 5 p.m., to be clear, I fucking get out of bed. I'm like, okay, might as well drag myself to my computer. I grab a water bottle from my little mini fridge, turn it on, and then I just, I start up a game, or I try to message someone. They usually ignore me. And then I'll just pick an activity for the day. I'll watch a YouTube video, play a game, listen to a podcast, watch some anime, and then I rinse and repeat that process until sleep.
So you're just barely keeping afloat.
100%. I don't know if I'd describe myself as afloat.
Right. Well, I guess what I mean, let's be specific. What I mean by afloat is that you were able to pick up the phone and talk to me.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still, cognizant.
Right. You're cognizant, and there's some sort of animus that's moving you in some way.
Yeah, I think it's just I can't kill myself, and it's gonna be a lot more boring if I stay in bed. So that motivates me to get out of my computer and do things, because at least it's a slight entertainment, slight distraction. It's something.
I see what you're saying. Listen, I think this is I think. Can I tell you a little personal reaction? Because I think what you're sharing with us right now is, it's not uncommon. Let's say that. There are other people with some variation of what you shared. I've worked with them, and especially on a website like Twitch.tv, you might find a couple of them. You know what I mean? However, I think I'm constantly offended by when people approach working with someone and dealing with your set of circumstances. Yahoo Serious 444, and the question is about my reality. Sheesh. Oh, the question is about my reality. Sheesh. Yeah, it is. Yahoo Serious. We've got a question. I've got a question about your reality.
Yeah, constant fucking psychic emergencies about Clifford. Yeah, I think that's even farther off than me.
Yeah, I would say that it's apples and oranges to compare Yahoo Serious's hallucinations to your situation. But one thing that I don't really like when someone like, you ever heard of this Dr. K?
No, I don't believe I have.
Healthy Gamer, GG.
Oh, yes, I've heard of him.
This guy, I believe his heart's in the right place, but I can't help but think of the untold, calamitous damage that he's doing to people through his program. Taking someone who might describe something that you have described and try to turn it around. Yahoo Serious 44, clip your toenails, caller. You need to go for a walk.
Hey, if someone wants to take me for a walk, get a leash out. I'm good for that. Not doing it by myself, though.
It's this Dr. K fella. I believe his heart's in the right place, but he's doing untold damage in reinforcing the idea in the thousands and thousands of people that watch him that not only is it possible to sustainably leave the situation that you find yourself in, but that there is a reason to do so.
I completely agree with you. As a sort of professional in hopelessness and despair, I think yeah, it is sort of like a false pretense, it's a lie. And I've never liked the guy simply because I think targeting gamers is the most disgusting demographic. It's like they shouldn't be helped. Like even beyond that, people it's better not to help them, as we've been saying. I just think gamers don't deserve any kindness.
Yeah. I mean, is it really, or what form does that empathy take? I think that's a question that needs to be asked a lot more frequently than it is. And because too often it's a destructive form of empathy, as you can see in the form of Dr. K and the Healthy Gamer GG program, him and his life coaches.
I think it's wasted on gamers as well. I don't think gamers are very good at taking things in. I don't think they deserve it.
Nor should they be. But we're wading into, this would be a very fruitful conversation between us. I'm certain of it. But suffice it to say, though, to put a little bow on what we're talking about here tonight, Amelia, that discomfort, as we've talked about, is the path of the next level. The path that we should be following to unlock the power that's inside of us is not through hope. It is not through yearning for comfort. It is about through finding discomfort, finding new ways of discomfort, and following that path. As Poorer mentioned it earlier, finding it and holding on to it, and taking the next step towards it. Do not ameliorate this discomfort. To ameliorate discomfort is to annihilate the self. And to go forth into discomfort, as we've heard about so thoroughly and so succinctly from Amelia tonight, to know what it is and where it's coming from, and to say yes to it. That is to bolster the self in a way that defies language.
I think you really need to bathe in the discomfort. And to sort of relate it back to a few things we said last time as well, I think a lot of people run away from the discomfort. They know the life of someone like me is a thing in the abstract, almost as a boogeyman. And they go do things. They go through the motions in order to avoid, being like this loser. But in reality, all you're really doing is running away from this. You can't get to this next level unless you face the discomfort right in front of you. Your shadow self. Look them in the eyes, and hold hands, embrace.
Better yet, or let him let him fucking kill you.
Let them inside.
Let him inside
replace you. Let them take you.
Wow, Amelia. There's nothing I can add to that. Let's leave it right there, okay?
I'd love to. Yeah, very poignant conversation.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Beautiful conversation. Neat Princess Amelia. Namaste to you.
Namaste, Guru.
Namaste.
Maybe take a different haircut next time. Namaste.
No, okay. Well, we didn't need that. We did not need that kind of energy at the end, so that was an unfortunate way to end the stream. Because that is our last streamer, our last caller. And that was a really unfortunate way to... That was an unfortunate way to wrap that up. So... where to go from there? All right, guys. Well, that was an exploration. We did it. Amelia kind of really shit the bed there at the end. We had a pretty good vibe, and it kind of just fucked it all up. So, as much as I like to end on a positive, or at least exploratory note, just No, not discomfort. I'm comfortable. I guess, if I could describe what I'm experiencing to you right now, it wouldn't make sense to you. If I tried to describe it, it wouldn't make sense. Let's just say that. I'm beyond discomfort. Let's just say that. Somebody who is able to put this program together no longer struggles with discomfort. That's not a thing I've even thought about. And does an Olympic swimmer put on floaties? How about that? Well, namaste, everybody. What a beautiful stream we had tonight. Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Fantastic to have you all with me. Blessings and namaste. Thanks so much for sticking it out, everybody. Late night, right? We got started a little bit late, and we went late to make up for that. Blessings. And so, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night with another beautiful exploration with Leslie Tanner. Brand new exploration theme. And, guys, do not forget, this Saturday is our Infatuations with Leslie Tanner, the internet's only competitive dating game show, not designed to help you find love, but to help you find out whether you deserve it in the first place. Some of you don't. Let's make that perfectly clear right now. Not everybody does. A lot of you don't in chat. But this is a competition to help you find out whether you do. Maybe help work on those skills to help you deserve love. And ultimately, it's just about being likable and normal for 3 minutes at a time. If you can do that, then I implore you to join in, guys. It's a walk-up thing. If you want to reserve your spot, there's a link in the Discord right now. You can click that link, fill it out, and reserve your spot. We'll make sure that we keep a spot warm for you, me and the mod team. Other than that, though, guys, this Saturday, if you want to just walk up, if you get excited halfway through the stream, pump yourself up, jump on in, no rules, and the winner could be in the chat right now, if you can imagine that. The winner could be anybody in the chat right now. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Well, guys, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Blessed suffering. Thanks so much for being with us for so long tonight. Poor Ewig, Cooker. Yeah, Cooker, I'm excited for you to see it, but also I'm excited for if you want to jump in. I'd be excited for you to jump in. Namaste. Amelia, jump in. Everybody, listen. If you are at all tempted to, it's fun. And the winner, like I said, the winner gets a piece of physical merch in the mail. All right? It could be a VHS tape. It could be a print. We're working on expanding the merch. More news on that soon. But this is, we'll send you something in the mail if you win, for sure. Well, let's get a nice little raid going in the meantime, though. So that's this Saturday. We got a regular stream tomorrow, and we got a stream on Saturday for Infatuations with Leslie Tanner. Who is on? Who? We gotta try Girls Night Postcard again like next month. Gonna have a new address. Oh, word. Who just? Okay, thanks, Michaela. Thanks so much for the raid of 1. Yeah, right. So happy to have you. So happy to have you. Who else? Who's on? Who's on right now? Oh, Duncan. Duncan's on. We're done raiding Duncan. We haven't raided Duncan in a while. Namaste. Thank you so much for that single bit. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Let's get a nice raid for Duncan. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for all the very generous Steel Forge Gaming and all the other raids. I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. Yep, I sure do like cats for the 41 person raids. Not really sure what's going on there. Thank you, though. Thank you so much to my mod team and to my raiders, or to my community of devoted light. Let's see. There we go. Thank you so much to my community of devoted light, and as well as my moderation team. Namaste to all of you. You absolutely make this happen in a way that could not happen otherwise. Blessings and namaste. Well, let's take this energy of warmth and clarity over to our brother of explorations, very talented streamer. If you're not following Duncan, smash follow when you get over there and drop a namaste in his chat. Very talented guy. Duncan did it. Duncan did it. We might even get to see him at Infatuations this weekend. We'll see. Huh? Wouldn't that be fun? We'll see. But guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Blessings and have a wonderful evening.